Good morning, dear friends. Today we are going to learn a very important lesson of microorganisms. What is that? And they may be friend or some of them may be foes. Why we said friends? That they help us. And why we say foes? They don't help, they disturb our life. So microbes also may be friends and foes. Let us first understand what is microbes. Micro, this is that you can't see, very small, can't see by naked eye, but it can be seen through microscope. And what is organisms? An individual living thing that carries on the activities of life by means of organs, which have separate functions but are dependent on each other. So they may be of two types, that is multicellular and unicellular. What is cellular? Cell is the smallest unit that can live on its own and that makes up all living organisms and the tissues of the body. Let us see how many types of microorganisms are there. There are major groups are bacteria, fungi, protozoa, algae, and one more, which we may say it is microorganisms, microbes or not microbes, because I will tell you later. Let us see first the bacteria. What is bacteria? Bacteria is just microbes, and it may be spherical shaped, rod shaped, spiral shaped, like that. So many shapes, isn't it? Then there is another group which is fungi group. We see on the bread mold, it is from penicillium, aspergillus, yeast we always use, and the mushrooms, these beautiful mushrooms you can see. So these comes in fungi group, fungi. Then there is another group that is protozoa. Protozoa has some microbes like amoeba and Paracium cordoium. This is protozoa. Then another group is algae. This is Spirogyra, and or we call it water silk, and Chlamydomonas, that is genus of green algae. Another group we can say is virus, but it has a bit different thing. It is inert outside the host, but activates itself and reproduces itself rapidly inside the body of the host. So they may be coronavirus. Have you heard of it? Yes, you know. And there are so many viruses which causes diseases. Next, we'll see where they are found. They are living everywhere. We can find the microbes everywhere. It may be in the icy cold. It may be the hot desert. It may be hot spring and marshy lands. All everywhere. It may be living in the human beings, in the animals, in the plant. All these microbes may be divided mainly into, that is beneficial, which is helpful in our life, and that is friends, and another is harmful. That is force. What does it do? It harms us. It creates disturbance in our life. It makes us sick, isn't it? Let us see in detail. Microorganisms are useful. Yes, we have seen. It is used by the people. It may be used by the ecosystems. It is to make food, to medicines, and in the ecosystem by decomposing and recycling the nutrients and nitrogen. In the food we see that it forms lactic acid, which is used in soy sauce. It is used in cheese forming, yogurt, curd. It is also used in ethanol, that is beer, wine, and it forms carbon dioxide inside the bread, which it is for leveling. Let us see in next slide what is this. So we see beneficial microbes are used in the food industry, it is used in the medical industry, it is used in commercial purposes, it is used in agriculture, it is useful in the environment, everywhere. So many beneficial microbes. In the food, bread, yes. Another word, curd, yes. Cheese, pickles, curds contains several microorganisms. What is important? That is lactobacillus. It promotes the formation of curd. Then yeast, yes, it is used in the leveling, for the leveling, it raising the size, it fills the oxygen, it is used in the bakery for making bread and cake, all this. Some fermented foods are produced through these microbes, that is the vinegar, yes, pickles, very good, olives, all this. Fermented dairy products are being manufactured like yogurt, and so all these, some are probiotics, which is useful for our gut health. Then we come to the medical side. It is utilized for the production of the antibiotic. What is antibiotic? The germs which fights the harmful germs and kills them. The harmful germs are being harmful, microbes are being killed by these antibiotics. Fungi group, that is like penicillium, is very useful in that. So many groups are there. So it is used for the production of antibiotics. Antibiotics means antibacteria and not antivirus. It does not kill the virus. It is useful for killing the bacteria itself, harmful bacteria. Then it is also used for increasing our antibody against some diseases. So what is that? We take vaccine, isn't it? What is that vaccine? Like we have taken vaccine against the COVID, yes. So it also increases our body to fight the harmful microbes which will come, harmful virus, which when it enters in our body, it fights against them. So it remains in our bloodstream. It is also used as commercial purpose for yeast. Yeast is used for the fermentation purpose of the liquids, like making beer, is not it? Beer, yes, wine, all these for commercial purposes. And microbes are also useful for the agriculture purposes. It fixes, only microbes can fix the atmospheric nitrogen into the nitrates in the ammonia, which can be utilized by the plants, and the plants can be eaten by. So it is used in the nitrogen cycle. And these microbes are also used in the for the environment. It decomposes our rotten plants and leaves and all those organic materials, and again it makes it usable for the plants again. So now these are the benefits, beneficial microbes. Now next we will see they are foes. That means the harmful microbes. What does it do? These are called pathogens, and these pathogens causes diseases in our human beings. It causes disease in the plant. It causes disease in the animals, all everywhere. And how these pathogens enter our body? So many eyes, nose, mouth, skin, isn't it? So they are parasite, protozoa, fungi, bacteria, virus, all this. So when a person suffering from common cold sneezes, what happens? Fine droplets of moisture carrying thousands of viruses are spread in the air. The virus may enter the body of the healthy person while breathing and cause infection. What the disease we get? COVID, tuberculosis, like that. From the water we drink or the food we eat, contaminated water we drink may contain pathogens of cholera, typhoid, hepatitis, all these, hepatitis A, B. And many diseases are transmitted directly contact with the person or the animal, like chicken pox, common cold, conjunctivitis, hepatitis A, B, all this. There are certain other ways for these harmful diseases to spread. That is through the vector or the carriers. That's the housefly. You know how the dengue is spread? All the malaria is spread through these mosquitoes. Male mosquito? No. Female Aedes. It is the carrier of dengue virus. Female Anopheles. It causes the malaria. Female, not the male. So they are it can be spread all over, isn't it? Let us see the chart here, which says that human diseases, that is, and what microbes cause them, and how the transmission is done. So diseases like COVID-19, tuberculosis, chickenpox, measles, all of them go through the mode of transmission is air. And the microorganisms are either virus or bacteria. Cholera and typhoid is caused by the microbes of bacteria. And hepatitis C, virus, malaria, protozoa. There are some plant diseases. They are like citrus canker. Have you seen such diseases in the plants? Rust of wheat, yellow vein mosaic of windy, All these is caused from the bacteria or fungus or virus. One more important thing is food poisoning. Have you heard of it? Have you suffered? Any of you? You had suffered, yes. Said Ram. That's good. Uh, Everybody suffers if you are not cautious about your food. It can upset your stomach. You can get fever, vomiting, diarrhea. This food poisoning, what is this? Is due to the consumption of food spoiled by some microbes or microorganisms. Food spoiling is a process or change which renders a food undesirable or unacceptable for consumption. Spoiling food is the result of the biochemical activity of microbial populations that predominate in the product. Microorganisms that grow on our food sometimes produce toxic substances. These make the food poisonous, causing serious illness. So, what to do? How we prevent it? We can use the food, we preserve the food. How? There are different methods. What is food preservation then? The process in which we treat and handle the food to slow or stop the spoilage. It allows us to store food for a longer time. Preservation usually involves the prevention of the growth of fungi, bacteria and other microorganisms. This food preservation is used for various food products such as fruits, vegetables, meat, fish, all this. Chemicals generally used to check the growth of microorganisms are called preservatives. Different methods are there, that is preservation by oil vinegar, storing tight containers, cold treatment, heat treatment, common salt and sugar. Let us see one by one. That is chemical method. This is chemical by applying some chemical, that is sodium benzoate, sodium metabisulfate, by this dry common salt. It is used to check the growth of the bacteria by covering the meat and fish. Salting is one also used to preserve amla, raw mangoes, tamarind, etc. Sugar reduces the moisture content, which inhibits the growth of the bacteria which spoil food. Jams, jellies, squashes are preserved by sugar. Oil and vinegar all prevents the spoilage of pickles because bacteria cannot live in such environment. What are the other physical methods? Those were the chemical methods. Physical methods are drying, dries. What happens? Dries, water capacity is sufficiently reduced. So, it delays the prevent bacterial growth. These masalas, the spices we used. Then heat treatment. What is heat treatment? We boil the milk. Why? Because it kills many microbes. Heat kills microorganisms by changing the physical and chemical properties of their proteins. What other way is there? Refrigeration, cold treatment. Cooling by refrigeration, that is 0 to 8 degrees Celsius, slows down bacterial action as low temperature inhibits the growth of the microbes. Freezing, it allows the food to save for more time. That is below 0 degree, it is being kept at below 0 degree. At this temperature, most bacteria remains completely inactive. Now we'll see one more method, that is pasteurization. What is that? We always get this milk here, that is pasteurized. What is pasteurization? Of heating the food, usually a liquid, to or below its boiling point. for a defined period of time. The purpose is to destroy all pathogens, reduce the number of bacteria, inactive enzymes, and extend the shelf life of the food product. For the milk, we say it is heated up to 70 degrees Celsius for 15 to 30 seconds and then suddenly chilled and stored. There is another physical method, that is storage and packing. Dry fruits or even vegetables are packed in sealed, airtight or vacuumed packets. Have you seen them? It prevents the attack of microbes and elongates the life of the food. Let us see the microorganisms and nitrogen cycle. It is also used for the microorganisms are vital thing for the nitrogen cycle. Nitrogen is about 78% in our atmosphere. It remains all over the constant. How? Nitrogen cannot be utilized directly by plants or animals or most of the organisms. Instead, they need to obtain it in its usable form, such as ammonia or nitrate, through various processes of nitrogen cycle. Nitrogen cycle involves a series of transformations of nitrogen between different forms, partially facilitated by the microbes such as bacteria and archaea. These microbes play important roles in each step of the nitrogen cycle, such as nitrogen fixation, nitrification, denitrification, ammonification. Certain bacteria and blue-green algae presents in a soil fix nitrogen from the atmosphere and convert it into the compounds of nitrogen. These usable compounds can be utilized by plants from the soil through their root. Nitrogen is then used for the synthesis of plant proteins and other compounds. Animals feeding on plants get these proteins and other nitrogen compounds. When plants and animals die, bacteria and fungi present in the soil convert the nitrogenous waste into the nitrogenous compounds to be used by plants again. In denitrification, some bacteria convert nitrate back into the atmospheric nitrogen, completing the nitrogen cycle. This is the nitrogen cycle, you can see. So, I think you can see this cycle. It completes the cycle completely. So, whatever was in the nitrogen of atmosphere was there, so the same amount remains there. Now let us do some exercises of our book. The question first is fill the blanks. Microorganisms can be seen with the help of a what? Certainly, microscope. Next, blue-green algae fix directly from air and enhance fertility of soil. What? Nitrogen, right. Alcohol is produced with the help of yeast. Cholera is caused by bacteria. Very good, very simple. Next, do fill the blanks. Tick. Yeast is used in the production of, and alternatives are sugar, alcohol, hydrochloric acid, oxygen. Which one is that? You said alcohol, that's right. The following is an antibiotic. What is sodium bicarbonate? Streptomycin, alcohol, yeast. Yes, correct. Streptomycin. It will be the correct answer. Carrier is of malaria causing protozoa is female Anopheles mosquito, right? The most common carrier of communicable disease ant, housefly, dragonfly, spider. Housefly, yes, communicable disease. The bread or idli's dough rises because heat, grinding, growth of yeast cells, kneading. Third, that is the growth of the yeast cells, correct. The process of conversion of sugar into alcohol is called nitrogen fixation, molding, fermentation, infection. This is third, that is fermentation, you are right. Now let us do the other one. Match the organisms in a column A and B. Can you do it? You can do it. A has bacteria, rhizobium, lactobacillus, yeast, a protozoan, a virus. Bacteria, fixation of nitrogen is not correct. Setting of curd, baking of bread, causing malaria, causing cholera. Yes, causing cholera. Rhizobium is a bacteria. What is used for? This is the fixation of nitrogen. Lactobacillus, setting of curd. Yeast, yes. What is? Baking of bread, right. A protozoa causing malaria, right. A virus causing AIDS, right. AIDS is for the virus. That's right. Next we'll go. Can microorganisms be seen with the naked eye? Yes, we have already answered this. What are the major groups of microorganisms? You know, bacteria, fungi, protozoa, algae. Name the microorganisms which can fix atmospheric nitrogen into the soil. Yes, bacteria such as rhizobium and certain blue-green algae can fix atmospheric nitrogen into the soil. That's right. Now there's write 10 lines on the usefulness of microorganisms in our lives. Bacterium lactobacillus promotes the formation of curd. Rhizobium helps in nitrogen fixation of soil. Yeast is used as leavening agent. Some microbes are used in probiotic which maintain the healthy gut. Microbes are used to produce fermented dairy products. Penicillium is fungus that produces antibiotic like penicillin. Dead or weakened microbes are used in production of vaccine. Yeast is used in commercial production of alcohol and wine. Microorganisms play an important role in each step of the nitrogen cycle. The microorganisms decompose dead organic waste of plants and animals, converting them into simple substances, and that can be used by other plants and animals, that the microbes clean the environment. Next question is, write short paragraph on the harmful effects of the microorganisms. So bacteria can cause infections that result in illness like tuberculosis, typhoid. Certain viruses can cause infection that result in illness of like COVID-19, chickenpox, hepatitis A, that can range from mild to severe and even life-threatening. Some pathogens infect humans through carriers like housefly, mosquito, resulting serious sickness like malaria, dengue. The spoiling of food is the result of the biochemical activity of microbes that predominate in the product. Microorganisms that grow on our food sometimes produce toxic substances. These make the food poisonous, causing serious illness. Several microorganisms not only cause diseases in humans and plants but also in the other animals. For example, anthrax is dangerous human and cattle disease caused by the bacterium. Foot and mouth disease, cattle is also caused by the virus. Overall, it is important to be aware of the potential harmful effects of microorganisms and take steps to prevent infections, such as practicing good hygiene, cooking food thoroughly, and avoid contact with the sick individuals. What are antibiotics? What precautions must be taken while taking antibiotics? Can you answer them? I'll give you the clue and I will tell you something that will help you. Antibiotics are medications used to treat bacterial infections. They work by either killing the bacteria or preventing them from multiplying, which allows the body immune system to fight off the infection more effectively. When taking antibiotics, it is important to follow the instructions given by your healthcare provider. Here are some general precautions. It is important to take the full course of antibiotics even if you start feeling better after a few days. Stopping antibiotics early can lead to the development of antibiotic resistance bacteria. Antibiotics should be taken exactly as prescribed. Let your health provider know if you have any allergies or previous reaction to the antibiotics. Antibiotics prescribed to one should not be shared with the others. Antibiotics should be stored properly. Antibiotics are only effective against bacterial infections and not effective against viral infection. That is the end of this this lesson. If you have any question, you can come up. Thanks.